This week in Jamaica Now, a murder convict released from prison for good behavior. 12 scammers found guilty in Hanover. Mopping up the Petrojam mess. A new board is appointed and the Prime Minister orders a probe. U.S. bans powdered products from flights. How are merchants reacting? And the World Cup frenzy. How is it unfolding in some of Kingston's bars? I'm Althea McKenzie in for Damien Mitchell, and this is Jamaica Now. A Supreme Court judge has ordered the immediate and unconditional release of 42-year-old Elvis Thomas after 2 decades in prison. At 17 years old, Thomas was sent to prison after he was found guilty of fatally stabbing another man during a robbery. In ordering his release, Justice Martin Gale said the social inquiry reports were favorable. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions did not oppose the application. Thomas's lead attorney, Zandra Gay Francis, said her client has been a model inmate who has converted to Christianity and accepted responsibility for his participation in a robbery that resulted in death. While in prison, Thomas obtained CSEC passes in English, mathematics, and information technology, and has taught other inmates at the St. Catherine Adult Correctional Facility. Florida police have arrested a suspect in connection with the shooting death of Jamaican-American rapper XXXTentacion. The 20-year-old troubled rapper, whose real name is Jaced Dwayne Onfroy, was shot dead on Monday outside a Deerfield Beach motorcycle dealership. On Wednesday night, 22-year-old Dedrick Williams of Pompano Beach was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Police described the shooting as an apparent robbery attempt. Shortly before the shooting, XXXTentacion had visited a bank and possibly withdrew cash. The rapper's brief career was marred in controversy. In 2016, he was arrested on charges including home invasion for a 2015 incident, and less than a month later was jailed on charges he attacked his girlfriend, who was pregnant at the time. Later, he faced more charges, including witness tampering. The police are warning that they'll be unrelenting in their fight against lottery scamming out west. The warning follows the conviction of 12 people under the lottery scam law in the Hanover Circuit Court. 11 of the 12 were slapped with sentences ranging from 12 months to 5 years in prison. The 12th person is to be sentenced in the Home Circuit Court in Kingston on July 27. Hanover, which was one of the safest parishes until some 5 years ago, is now a hotbed of violence as a result of the emergence of the lottery scam and the gangs battling for the spoils. The police inspectorate is probing Wednesday night's jailbreak at the Crossroads Police Lockup in St. Andrew. 4 inmates escaped, 2 of whom have since been recaptured. Those back in custody are 21-year-old Rohan Brown, who is charged with robbery, and 23-year-old Richard Walker, who is charged with rape and buggery. The police say 19-year-old Eustace Powell of Lincoln Road, Kingston 5, and 29-year-old Sanjay Burton of Tavern Avenue, Kingston 6, are still on the run. Powell is charged with rape and buggery, while Burton, otherwise called Christopher Peart or Michael, is on fraud-related offenses. The men reportedly escaped by cutting through a metal grill. The police are urging people with information that can lead to the recapture of the men to call them. As of June 30, passengers leaving Jamaica for the United States will not be allowed to take in their carry-on luggage powdered products weighing more than 12 ounces. The ban will affect products such as coffee and spices. President of the Board of Airline Representatives of Jamaica, Yvonne Pearson, says the only thing that will not be affected is baby food. She said the new policy will hurt duty-free concessionaires who sell spices and coffee, as some passengers will not be able to board flights with these products. The latest move was spurred by an incident in Australia a few months ago where powdered substance was involved in a potential terrorist threat. The government is seeking to mop up the mess at the state-owned oil refinery Petrojam. The Jamaican board directors have been removed and 3 new ones appointed. They are Paul Hu, a former chairman of Supreme Ventures Limited, and Rosie Pilner and Wayne Powell, both former vice presidents at Scotiabank, Jamaica. The previous board members resigned on Monday amid grounding outcry about corruption at the oil refinery. And the Prime Minister says a report is to be prepared on the operations of Petrojam with specific attention to various allegations of nepotism, mismanagement, and questionable financial decisions. 2 of the biggest shockers of the FIFA World Cup so far in the group stages came in Groups D and F. Defending champions Germany got their campaign off to a bad start with a 1-0 loss to Mexico on Sunday in Group F. Argentina, who were predicted by many pundits to win Group D, drew their opening game 1-1 with Iceland last Saturday, then lost 3-0 to Croatia on Thursday. Cristiano Ronaldo has been the in-form player of the tournament, leading the Golden Boot race with 4 goals so far. He scored a hat-trick in the 3-3 draw with Iberian rival Spain last Friday, then scored again in Portugal's 1-0 win over Morocco on Wednesday. Brazil, meanwhile, opened their campaign with an unconvincing 1-1 draw with Switzerland on Sunday, but then defeated Costa Rica 2-0 to get their hopes of claiming their 6th World Cup title back on track. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. You may tune into Power 106 FM for regular updates. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Jamaica Gleaner and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. I'm Althea McKenzie in this week for Damon Mitchell. And before we go, the World Cup frenzy, how it unfolded in some corporate area spots.
Messi, and 9 goals, easily.
Yeah, easy prediction this. Cristiano Ronaldo can't lose the Golden Boot. 9 goals, myself.
Alright, I know, I have to go with Cristiano Ronaldo now. Even though I'm not a big fan of him still. But it's the same I work feet hard. And he's a man who love them spotlight there, so I see him go feet still. So I have to go with it. But that's about 12 goals.
I'm asked a big question, them say the biggest flop of the World Cup. You know the God of the baller, and everybody will look out for the God of this World Cup here. See? He missed a penalty, so right now, I'm at the biggest flop for the World Cup.
The biggest flop for the World Cup are Messi.
I don't know the biggest flop for the World Cup will be Lionel Messi. I mean, coming into the 2018 World Cup, the international fans were expecting a lot more from this so-called God of football. Say, is this your God?